What's up, y'all? It's Brian, and this is the Unstuck sessions. Today, we're going to talk about the invention of breakfast. Interesting, right? Let's get into it. The bigger concept is I want y'all to be kind of hip to the idea of how marketing can determine things outside of just selling products. Yeah, it can sell products, but it can also shape public opinion in some very interesting and could sometimes be some insidious ways. If we look at what's going on currently, with new medical information being presented to the public and the way that it's being laundered, it's a marketing campaign. And so I figured I'd drop a video and kind of chop it up with y'all about it. All right, cool. So this is called the invention of breakfast. Okay. Now, for a long time, people would get up and just kind of eat what was left over and then go to work. Right. And so I'm not going to give you the full history of the Industrial Revolution, but the truth is, it's a marketing campaign. And so it's an example of how marketing can shape culture and not just sales. So in the early 1900s, most people in America just ate like what we consider breakfast, maybe coffee, a roll, some fruit, and bounce. You just eat what you could, what was available, and bounce out. Heavy breakfasts were for people that were like manual laborers or people that actually had to go out and put in work. We're talking about farmers or people that work really physical jobs, right? Like construction workers and stuff like that. And the thing was, bacon wasn't selling like the company wanted to. So the bacon lobby, what we would call a lobby, at this time it was Beech Nut Packing Company who sold bacon. They wanted to boost sales. So they brought in Edward Bernays. Now, this dude is the nephew of Sigmund Freud, and he's considered the father of public relations. So they hired him and they wanted to boost bacon sales. This is going to sound insidious, and it kind of is, but I want you to ride along with me. So instead of just running an ad that said, hey, buy more bacon, he hired a doctor to say that bacon was part of a healthy, hearty breakfast. Okay. And then he circulated a petition to try to get 5,000 doctors to sign off on the idea that bacon and a hearty breakfast was healthier than a light breakfast. Okay. So he circulated the statement, got 5,000 doctors to co-sign off on it. The next thing is he took it to the newspaper. Newspaper printed headlines. Doctors recommend hearty breakfast, bacon and eggs. It gave the impression of there was a medical consensus there. It wasn't necessarily a medical consensus. It's, I'm making a statement. Can y'all sign off on it? And this doctor's making a recommendation that we paid them for. And that's just how it rolled. But anyway, it gave the impression of this medical consensus. Families across America shifted their eating habits. And within a generation, bacon and eggs was the American breakfast. And then the cereal companies played into it, the orange juice companies played into it. And eventually we had this archetype of what a healthy breakfast is. Now, after the fact, we found out that there is a lot of gravity and weight towards eating breakfast as a meal to kind of fuel you through the day. And there's some health benefits or whatnot. But milk has kind of had a similar run too. So I'm saying that to say this. It wasn't necessarily a medical consensus that started this thing. It was an idea of a marketing executive. We're seeing that right now, where things that we consider to be medical facts are now being put out there, and we're trying to remarket our concept of health. I'm not going to get into the politics of it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. This is the mechanism of why it worked. The doctors gave that idea credibility. For better or worse, the doctors made it sound like it was a credible idea. It wasn't researched. It was literally just they signed off on this petition. I know that they paid the original doctor to come out and say it. Okay. But the doctors, that 5,000 signatures of the doctors gave that thing credibility. And the message appeared everywhere. They flooded the market with it. It wasn't about bacon. It was about health and being a healthy American family. And as the mom and dad of American family, you want to make sure that your kids are getting the doctor recommended type of breakfast. All right. Here's the bigger idea. Marketing isn't just about selling what's already there. it can literally create what we consider traditions. Because without that piece of knowledge, if you didn't know that breakfast was started out as a large marketing campaign, you would assume that it just came from common sense. It was a marketing campaign. And other companies did the same. Like other companies played along and followed suit. The De Beers diamonds, like diamonds for engagement rings, right? Listerine, they invented the term halitosis to sell mouthwash. And I mentioned milk. A lot of these are based on lagging numbers or trying to launch a product or whatnot and get people to buy into it. And so what they do is they attach it to a tradition or another desire that people want. And then they say, if you really care about this person, you're going to buy them diamonds. And your breath is funky, you have halitosis. This mouthwash will cure this disease that we invented. And then, of course, all the got milk ads where they show the kid wanting to grow bigger and stronger. You drink some milk, you get bigger and stronger. Okay. So, what feels natural or tradition often has marketing fingerprints all over it. Okay. I want you to take this information as you will. And I just want you to be cognizant of what's currently happening in the political spectrum, in the political arena. Information that's coming out that's saying that it has is brand new medical information. It hasn't really been tested anywhere. And there's plenty of people that are criticizing it. And I think the thing that is different now than then is we have a faster turnaround for people that can come out and say, yeah, this is kind of BS. Healthy skepticism moving forward, I would say. But understand this, marketing isn't just about the product. It's not just about the product. You can build entire traditions and the whole country will follow suit. Okay. So next time you sit down to your bacon and eggs, remember you're not just eating breakfast, you're eating a PR campaign that started 100 years ago. That's the kind of power that marketing has. So it makes you wonder, what campaigns are companies starting now that are going to feel like traditions in 50 years? That's all I got. Hey, it's been Brian with the Unstuck sessions. I do appreciate y'all tuning in and rocking with me for this little short episode. If you want to hit me up, you know how to reach me. If you need any consulting or anything, strategy work, that's what I'm here for. Or if you want to learn the ropes of marketing, I have a school community that I'm building out to teach people how to do their own marketing. I appreciate y'all's time. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.